Look, those are realms of absurdity. I've been saying it since, and you are a witness to that fact.
You are a staunch Black Star supporter.
No, I am. I support the Black Stars, even though I've had reservations about the quality we've displayed for a very long time. But if there's one thing I've been saying emphatically is that the last 2 games were done, sealed. There's no way in God's name we weren't qualifying to the World Cup. I mean, yes, the concerns were legit. We've not played very good football. We've not done this. We've not done that. But I asked myself, with
those concerns were even coming with relation to the AFCON qualification.
Exactly.
Because we had a very, very poor run.
A horrendous qualifiers.
We were just missing the qualifiers. So when it came to the World Cup,
we even lost games at the Accra Sports Stadium and all of that. And so the AFCON qualifier is horrendous.
Yes.
But with the World Cup, it's been quite funny. Our trajectory on that front has been very different.
Because that's USA. That's Canada. That's World Cup. That's like big.
Very,
that's
very
a dream for every player, even for journalists. And so it's a different approach. And when it came to the AFCON, I mean, once they saw that, well,
and even to add to that, you know, the start of both qualifiers, they started around the same time. We started the AFCON, it was a bit sketchy. We're like, we'll get around it and then we'll qualify. But surprisingly, even though our team was still not in very great shape, with the World Cup qualifiers, we were strangely picking very important Bar Comoros, who we are going to thump on Sunday.
Hey, my way, calm down. All right, like also I say, we're in safe hands. So let's take it back in time and let's recap our Black Stars World Cup qualifying journey up until this day. Like we said, take us through it.
So for him talking about Comoros, let's talk about the 2022 AFCON.
Okay.
Yeah.
In Cameroon.
Yeah.
So we had the opportunity to win against Comoros and then qualify to the next stage of the competition. However, we failed. And that was the very first time the Black Stars failed to qualify from the group stage at the AFCON.
Our very, very first time.
Yes, in a very long time.
Okay.
Then it happened again in Ivory Coast. We couldn't move past the group stage.
Yeah.
Then in this qualifiers, the only team we've lost to is Comoros.
Hey. Comoros has tied our destiny under a specific tree somewhere.
They're the only team we've lost to. So everyone talking about that game is coming from a place of revenge. We need to remember what happened in Cameroon. We need to remember the fact that throughout the qualifiers, this is the only country that has beaten us.
Yeah.
And even for them, we don't see Comoros to be a footballing country to score against Ghana and be a country that when we're about to play.
Fantastic point. That is the basis upon which I have emphatically stated we will thump them on Sunday.
Okay.
It is a no-brainer. Look, the reasons Comoros could beat us, the reasons we've not been able to make it out of the group stage is because, let's face the fact, back home, our football has been in shambles, from the GPL to the Black Stars and its technical management and how players are called up, conversations about coaches. We've had entire fights. When Ivory Coast and people were going up against persons within our own camp, were going up against our own coach in Ivory Coast because they wanted certain players fielded and all of that. Players wanting to come on to play the game because they believe we had done a job against what team?
So look. I'm sure like Ghanaians are excited about everything that's happening.
Yeah.
And then there are those who are very passionate like you about the Black Stars, because when you see the team winning 5-0.
Man, that's why I was asking you whether you want to come here because your blood is boiling and pumping.
He has a lot to say. That's why he's like, no, I'm not sitting in there. I'm not sitting in this
okay.
Because if I'm here, I don't get the opportunity to say
exactly. But the point I'm making is that as much as I respect all of these footballing nations,
yes,
they've been able to get one or two over us because naturally we've not been in a very good place
for a long time.
For quite some time.
This is not the Black Stars of 2010.
From when we failed to make it out of the round of 16 when it was first ever introduced. We've been on a downward trajectory since. up until not qualifying for the AFCON.
Yeah,
and
correct.
so our football has not been at a great place.
But our footballers have been great.
Exactly. But when we come here, for some very strange reason, things have just not made sense, from coaching decisions to behind the scenes disturbances and whatnot, split over captaincy, whether or not somebody should be called to come and play, whether somebody should retire. It's just been so much noise around the team, and it has given teams else. On God's name, why are we having a conversation about playing Central African Republic and Comoros?
Well, you mentioned captaincy, and so maybe it's the right time for us to probably listen to the captain of the team, Jordan Ayew, who is talking about the fact that it should be a time of redemption for us, and where he draws some of his inspiration from, talking about his father, his brothers, and the fact that this should be Ghana's time.
All right, so shall we? I think we have some highlights. Can we take a look at the highlights, and then we'll get into the post-match commentary? Can we do that? Let's do that. All right, so take a listen. If you're watching us on Facebook as well, you can follow along in the conversation. It's still 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Let's do a recap of the match highlights, and then we'll listen to the post-match commentary. Let's get the game highlights up, and then we'll listen to the post-match commentary. All right, let's do that.
And it's almost as if we've turned into an Arsenal of a sort, with the number of set pieces that we get. And how
I don't know if that's
all right. When we return, we'll talk strategy, tactics, all of that. Take a listen, guys.
And he's played a nice little ball through there. Urenki with him. Ball comes in, but 20 minutes in. Corner comes in from the right. Good delivery to the back post, and there's the opener. Lovely delivery. And he's played a nice little ball through there. Oh, and this is opening up nicely for Ghana. And that's 2-0. Thomas Partey. Timing is run into the box to perfection. Smiles in the stands as well. Smiles on the pitch. Jordan. The home players just warming up there. Cross comes. Beats the keeper, and it's looped into the net for 3-0. Republic not good enough as Mensah puts another ball in. Half cut out at the back post, the shot comes in, it's 4-0. But Jordan Ayew will be just for the losing spots, and now coming forwards here, and that's 5-0 for Ghana. The Black Stars rampant here. It's the substitute Kamal Sulemana. He couldn't miss from there, and he didn't.
All right, so some quick highlights there of what happened as far as the match was concerned. Let's also take a listen to, I could say it was Ayew, Jordan.
There's a
Jordan
Ayew. There's
speaking.
a Samuel Jan who spoke after the game as well. And then there was Mohamed Salisu who also spoke.
He was on the score sheet.
Yes, he was on the score sheet.
Fantastic. We'll listen to these key voices. We'll come back in studio, and then we will dissect all of that, and then also
this was our only chance
talk
to
tactics.
redeem ourselves. So we knew that this was our only chance to redeem ourselves, and I feel like it wasn't only me. I feel like everyone was committed to the cause, and everyone was ready for the challenge. And obviously, you know, I've come a long way with the national team, you know, so it's part of me. The national team is part of me, and you know, I really take it to heart, obviously, and you know, I'm at a stage where like I needed to step up and to take more responsibilities, and you know, I was aware of that, you know, but obviously it all comes with hard work and determination, and obviously the encouragement from my family, my parents, my dad, my mom, my brothers. So we knew that this was our only chance to redeem ourselves, and I feel like it wasn't only me. I feel like everyone was committed to the cause, and everyone was ready for the challenge. And obviously, you know, I've come a long way with the national team, you know, so it's part of me. The national team is part of me, and you know, I really take it to heart, obviously, and you know, I'm at a stage where like and I needed to step up and to take more responsibilities, and I was aware of that, but obviously it all comes with hard work and determination, and obviously the encouragement from my family, my parents, my dad, my mom, my brother. So we knew that this was our only chance to redeem ourselves, and I feel like it wasn't only me. I feel like everyone was.
I've seen this in a long time. The boys have done well for themselves. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to the Black Stars. Thank you to Ghanaians for their support. Today we came here to witness a victory match, but not this kind of margin. So the boys have done so well for themselves. And I've seen this in a long time. The boys have done well for themselves. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to the Black Stars. Thank you to Ghanaians for their support. Today we came here to witness a victory match, but not this kind of margin. So the boys have done so well for themselves. And
I think it was very good. They played really well, and I think some people who were not expecting to scored some goals, and was really exciting. So the Ghana energy, I believe so. I believe if they continue with the energy they had today, I believe they will qualify.
One of the best performances I've seen since this coach came. It's the best performance I've seen. Nothing can happen. This one, the full assurance and trust. We have qualified. But by all means, we score Comoros here.
But today, the game, I really enjoyed the game. From the lineup, the pressing, how ability the players are doing, from the pressing. We have some players like Semenyon, very, very, very good today. I like the way he possessed the game. Then Kudus, then Kwasisibo. I really enjoy the game, the way Ghana possess the ball. I want this game, they should carry this form each and every game. If Ghana, all these players are they form, we can go.
I think it was very good.
It's to the top of the hour, 9 a.m. We're back in studio. This is still 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. We're talking Black Stars qualifying for the World Cup. We took a look at the highlights, some key voices as well. Now let's get into the meat of the matter proper. We're dissecting the performance yesterday. Akosia is here in the studio, as is Eric Mauna Egbeta. So we saw what happened yesterday. For those of you who missed it, Ghana put up a very stellar performance, and our World Cup fortunes are certainly looking up.
We're World Cup bound.
We're World Cup bound.
On the
I
brink
like that.
of qualification.
On the brink of qualification.
I know what the rules are and all of that, but come on, we're at the World Cup. I've been saying it. Look at the league law.
Okay.
It would take a miracle. Mm-hmm. You know, when we used to do permutations and say it would take a miracle for us to qualify.
Yeah.
It would take a miracle for us not to qualify. Because we're on top of the group.
Yeah.
If we lose the last game, which won't happen. Football, they say football, anything can happen.
It's true.
But it won't happen.
But even if we do, we just have to lose by 3 goals.
We can lose by 4.
Madagascar should win by 8 goals.
Even if it goes and were tied on goals head to head,
we go ahead of them.
We'll still go ahead of them based on head to head because we beat them.
Yes.
That's why I've been telling people that we have qualified.
No,
Ghana
but
is not going to lose.
You don't want to sound very
overly confident. No, this one we must be overly confident.
Because you still have 1 game to play.
No.
You have 3 points you would want to get.
Okay.
And this game against Comoros, I feel is very, very important.
Yes.
The 3 points here is important for their qualification or whatever. But then again,
to send a message.
Thank you.
We have to show them something small.
Yeah.
Because all these other countries like Madagascar, Central African Republic, and Comoros, in the past years, we have had difficulties playing against them. So if we have sorted out Central African Republic to let them know, listen, you've never been on our level, you had your time, but that time is over.
Yeah, it was a rough
and then
patch
for Madagascar, but like, listen, that whatever happened 2 years ago, a year ago, it's not happening again. Then against Comoros, we need to really state a better claim. Because if there's any team who have gotten a point from Ghana that they didn't deserve, it was Chad. Chad got a point out of Ghana.
When we
when we drew against them. Exactly. So when you're playing against another team that really doesn't have anything to lose, there's a lot at stake for them. The only unfortunate thing for Comoros would be the fact that we're playing here in Ghana. And when we're playing in Ghana, we have our fans in the stadium. We have our motivation of qualifying to our 4th World Cup. The mission is bigger than someone just trying to state a claim that, okay, we did not finish our qualifiers on a bad note. We just needed more than they do at this point, but they may just want to, because sometimes when football stories are being written, these are the times where you get the best stories being written out of qualifiers. They'll just come here and probably surprise us. But even in the rarest case that we lose, even if we do, we could still qualify to the World Cup.
All right. Now let's talk tactics. What specific tactical changes did Coach Otto Addo implement that you think allowed the Black Stars shine from start to finish?
I think one should be the fact that we're getting more set pieces now, and we've been very, very productive with the set pieces we get, especially for the corner kicks that we were getting in yesterday's game, which gave us some goals. And after the game, for instance, when Michael Otieje, who was in Morocco, just right by that corner, Paul was saying, he said that whenever Kudus went to play the corner, he would tell maybe the player he wanted to strike that ball to, that maybe go to the first pole, go to the second pole. That is where I would be kicking that ball. So, like, be there.
I think
because
I
would
saw a video of him saying, Joe,
this is coming to you. So they know that, and they are taking the set pieces very, very important now. And also, I think the defenders, even though sometimes we see them making some mistakes, whenever now, I think ever since we introduced Benjamin Asari, the Accra Hearts-of-Oak goalkeeper, whose name all of a sudden have turned into Benjamin Clean Sheet Asari. Because in the polls of Ghana, the only time he's conceded against Chad and also at the Unity games that we hosted with 2 other countries in UK, Benjamin Asari has been very good. But the defenders have been very good for him. Whenever he's imposed, you see a player like Jiku and he would rather put his neck on the ground and clear the ball than for the ball to go to Benjamin Asari. And so he himself doesn't have to do a lot of work. There are some few balls that go to him, but you don't see them as the shots, because we played against Chad and they had 1 shot on target. And that was their goal, exactly. That was their goal. And so he has also been good, Benjamin Asari. I know that people like to talk about the fact that he's playing in the Ghana Premier League. We don't have correct data and stats to analyze him. We're not talking about how his aerial saves, the ones he sweeps and everything. But I mean, once he's in the post, he's been keeping clean sheets. And for a goalkeeper, that's one thing that's very important for you.
I even think one of the things that we can look out for in terms of Benjamin Asari was that game against Mali here in Accra. Yeah. He was a calming, assuring presence in the post for us, because there were a number of balls that were floated in, particularly in the 9 numbers when we were leading, and he was very commanding of his area. Yeah. Came out and claimed the ball, which then calms the defense and calms the team. Exactly. And so, yes, we can make the argument that he's not out and out been so tested, but in the few times that we've needed him and called upon him, he's proven, and you can always beat what's in front of you, and and the test which is put in front of you is what you have to pass, and he's passed that since he was put in the post for us. And so calming, assuring, and yesterday he also beat his man in when there was
that was a terrifying moment for me, Helen, because why are you not just saving the ball? You see, when goalkeepers try to be a bit
of razzmatazz, okay?
No, but yesterday, did you see that Libya goalkeeper's razzmatazz?
Which
thank you. It resulted in a goal.
Argentinian goalkeepers can save the ball with their 2 legs from behind. A bit of catch, a bit of display.
But he knows he can. But when that thing happened, I gripped him.
Because it was at 1-0.
I'm like, what?
And
you don't do that.
We don't have afforded a mistake there. Exactly. So there are some who have criticized him that, look, he put himself under undue pressure.
Right.
And someone should be telling him that, okay, we don't do this.
Keep the simple things simple.
Yes, keep it simple. But no coach actually ever likes their goalkeeper doing that. From Pep Guardiola to Jurgen Klopp, they always want safety in that particular, because the slightest mistake and you're down by a goal, the opponent has equalized and all of that. So they all don't like it. I've seen clips of Pep Guardiola in utter dismay when what's his name? Ederson, when he was with them, will be doing some of the flicks and dribbling into the center half area and all of that. He doesn't like it. Just keep it simple, lay it off to let's keep the ball running. But I mean, hopefully someone has told him that, look, don't buy unnecessary pressure for the team.
We don't want to see that catcher on Sunday.
And then again, I also believe that one thing we talk a lot about the Michaelasians, that Samoejans, they play together, they have chemistry, they talk.
That's right.
We have some players in this team that have also played together.
Yeah.
Okay.
The right to dream players. They have played together before. They do understand themselves. Some of them are now friends, like Fatawi Shahaku, Kudus, Kamaldeen, Salisu. Now they talk, because in their post-match they're saying, when we have conversations, he knows that if I'm at the second pole, this is how he's crossing the ball.
Connection.
Yeah, this is how the connection.
Because that critique has come up time and again about a reason why our Black Stars will perform brilliantly individually in their various clubs, but there seems to be a lack of cohesion when they come together, and some other countries have been cited as having better chemistry because maybe they come home a bit earlier to train together. But what you're saying is that we're seeing some more chemistry.
Yes, now we're seeing that, especially with Kudus, Salisu, Kamaldeen, even Ishahaku. Once they have the ball, they sort of almost know that this is where I have to kick the ball to, because this person is there, that person will be there. So they are developing that. These kind of chemistries, you don't just get them.
It takes time.
Yes, it takes time.
But
it will come with time, and I believe that they are getting that. But one other thing have also been the fact that we've not managed our players well. The time that our players get, for instance. So yesterday, I don't think there was a reason why Fatawi Shahaku should have lasted that long in a game, especially because he's just coming back from an ACL injury. So you play him for like 60 minutes, he should be out. Because I thought the minute he almost got injured, there was a time I like, wrap it up. Because you're just coming back from an ACL injury. Your team is now getting you again. They need you very much. You're a very important part of Leicester City. But then we should have to manage our players well, so that the other players will also get the opportunity to play. Because all these things comes important
in terms of having a general understanding with the team. Because it's 20 now. We take 26 players.
I remember when Partey returned from injury, and Arsenal were like, you can't play him after 60 minutes. So after 60 minutes, they had to start.
He has to come out. Now let's talk about individual standout performances. You've mentioned a few names, barring the catcher that we saw in the goalpost, which had a lot of you gripping your seats. Who would you say, Akosia, was your standout performance? If it's more than one, tell me who that is and why they were your standout.
Throughout the qualifiers, number one is Jordan Ayew.
Okay.
That's a 34-year-old man to be doing what he has done for the Ghana team throughout the qualifiers, scoring hat-tricks, providing different assists, scoring 7 goals and providing 7 assists.
Right.
I mean, that's huge for a player like Jordan Ayew. And so for me, he's been my standout player. And then one unsung hero, I think, even though we all know how brilliant he is the calm that Thomas Partey brings into the team.
I was going to mention him, actually.
Like, absolutely.
That was your man of the match.
Absolutely.
One of our standout performers in terms of the calm and assurance that he brings, even in taking his goal. He was very calm and collected about it. And in mentioning him, I think Kwesi Sibo as well.
No.
A lot was said about the synergy between Kwesi Sibo and Thomas Partey
in the first game against Mali. Yeah, in the first game against Mali, yes. But in the second game, Kwesi Sibo was a ball he could have just passed to make it go into out of play. I'm like, no. And you could see there were moments where even Jordan was quite angry with him. Because Jordan could see some of the passes he was making, and Jordan was like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? And we could see moments like that. Bill was around when these things were happening. So like, Kwesi Sibo will get a ball and he's either given a back pass, he's taking the ball out of play, and I'm like, is he nervous? What's going on? And you could literally see Jordan sometimes opening his arms to ask, why did you do that?
Let me say hello to Bill. He's moved in here like a smooth operator, nice and calm.
Hi, Helen.
We couldn't have the discussion without our swag journalist of the year. Bilishon is in the building.
In sports writing, yes. And then swag in the fit check as well.
Okay.
Mauna.
International cappers.
All right, so Bill, you're welcome. Akosia was just telling us about her top performing individuals in yesterday's game. A bit of banter here with her and Eric about Kwesi Sibo, the synergy in the midfield, Thomas Partey. Some polarizing opinions weighing on that for us.
So with Sibo, what I noticed, which was very clear, is he seems to be the kind of guy who doesn't want to make a mistake. And that went to show in his one-touch passing. Every time he got the ball, he goes back, or he gives a one-touch pass to whoever is closest to him. He does not.
So he's being too careful.
Yes. That's his style, and I think it sort of is a style for usually a defensive midfielder. He is a defensive midfielder, but what Ghanaians and what a lot of people would expect from these days defensive midfielders. I'll give you an example. Martin Zubimendi. He doesn't just scream, but he knows how to pass.
Okay.
Pass forwards, pass, break lines, all of that. He knows how to do it. And that is something that you would expect from someone of a high level who plays in La Liga, which is one of the biggest leagues in Europe and in the world at large. And so, yes, there is that.
I'm giving him too much with the La Liga, and because he's not been playing of late. And when you say La Liga, someone is thinking, okay, he plays week in, week out with Lamine Yamal.
These days they bench him. Exactly. But we don't see it as much.
Let me stick with him, because how significant would you say was that midfield partnership between Kwesi Sibo and Thomas Partey in controlling the tempo and supporting each other's defense and attack?
Yeah, so the way Thomas Partey operates in the Black Stars, right, is much different from the way he would operate in Villarreal or the way he used to operate in Arsenal, right? In those clubs, he used to be at the base,
right,
playing as the 6, and then the others go ahead of him. But in the Black Stars, I mean, we know Partey can really go forwards, right? He can bob forwards. So that is what we use him as. And so it's very imperative to have a screening midfielder behind him, and that's what Salis used to provide for him in the 2022 World Cup. That's what Sibo is doing for him right now. Unfortunately, people have not been impressed the way Salis has been performing.
People, including you.
Oh, including myself.
Exactly. Why is saying people?
But
so you agree with Akosia then?
Oh, it's not just me.
You're all right. You agree?
It's not just me.
Yes. So you are alone.
Oh no! Right for right now, I'll prefer Sibo to be with Partey.
Okay,
that's Salis. Of course.
Okay.
Okay. I'll prefer
Helen, if you train.
Oh, he was called up the previous one, but not this one.
If Helen trains hard for 3 months, probably.
Let's not go too far. I don't know if I train for 1 year. I'm not even sure that I can do something. Black Queens, don't call me. Don't call me. I can't train for. Don't call me.
Oh, we have a game in October. They can.
What month are we in?
We are in October.
So watch yourself. Now we had 5 goals from 5 different scorers.
Yeah.
Does that mean we have the men, and by the men I mean the attackers? Does that give you confidence going into not just the next qualifiers, but the World Cup as a whole? It's become a critique. We don't score goals. We don't have attackers. We don't have attackers. Do we now have the men? Do we now have the attackers based on what we saw yesterday?
It's not been a question of whether we have attackers or not. We do have attackers.
Okay.
But it's always been the way they've been set up to play, right? Now, Otuado, since he took over the Black Stars, even the first time and the second time, he's favored the back 3. And usually when you use a back 3, you sort of limit your attack a bit, right? You'd have to sacrifice a bit up front. And so when you see a back 3, especially, I mean, against Mali, we saw a back 3. Against even Chad, we saw a back 3. And so that sort of limited the way the attackers would be used. And in the end, Ghanaians would criticize them, whatever happens. But in this particular case, he dished the back 3, went for the back 4, the 4-2-3-1, and then had 4 different attackers at the front. Mohamed Kudus, Fatawi Sahaku, he had Antoine Semenyo, he had Jordan Ayew, all attackers, right, at the front. And if all of them click, you get to see goals. We saw them click.
Okay.
And we saw an example also against Chad at the Accra Sports Stadium. He went gang-ho, right? Partey was at the base, Enes Nyama in front of him. There was another midfielder, Kudus, also in front of him. And he had a front three as well. And so goals just kept coming. We scored 5 against Chad as well. And so it's never been a question of whether we have the attackers or not.
Okay.
It's always been there. But it's how to use them.
Set up.
How to set them up. If you set them up to attack, they will attack and they will score. It's that simple.
Akuso, you agree with that?
Yeah, but even sometimes for the Black Stars, it doesn't just even come down to who is an attacker. It just comes down to those who can score. So you would have a game where it's Thomas Partey that is scoring, or your defenders who are giving you the goal. Because the game we played against Mali here, it was a Jiku, even though it was a bit of a scrum. But it was Jiku who is a centre back who gave us the goal. So every other time, even when our attackers are not scoring, sometimes the midfielders and the other players are in to give us the goals that are needed. And once again, I would agree with what Bill is saying in terms of how we set up our team. Because when you set up the team in a way where, and I always want to use the examples of how we played our AFCON, because how we played our AFCON, sometimes you don't understand how the teams were set up. Because if you have a player like Antoine Semenyo who can play a game at Anfield, take a ball from outside of the center line way further and be able to dribble through Liverpool players and score a goal that he orchestrated himself, started and finished. But when he comes to the Black Stars and he's playing, and then you see players he's taller than, players he's stronger than, even progressing more, moving further away from him when we are in attack. That was problematic because there's no way if we have a set piece that Antoine Semenyo shouldn't be part of those who are either getting ready to go in the air to head for us or ready to get the ball and shoot, because he is an amazing striker from any angle. Last week, the game they played, he scored a goal from a very, very tight angle. Angles that I think maybe when he comes to the Black Stars, he may not necessarily try. And so if they are set up in that right way, because we also have some of the paciest wingers who can do all the job, just cut in for you. And someone like Jordan Ayew wouldn't have to work so hard to try to go back and then come. Like, just make sure that I find you at the right pace. My cutting will come to you. Be at the second pole, be at the first pole. So once they are set up in the right way, and it all goes down to really understanding, and I'm glad that you can see the camaraderie in camp now, which will tell you that if I'm having a conversation with you as a fellow player, I would want to tell you what my strengths are, that once you have the ball, you should know that maybe this is where I will be. Next time, the corner, you know that this is where the tall players are, so instead of here, put it here. And once they are able to have these conversations, the coaches would do their jobs on the sidelines. But sometimes when, even for players, they take the game to you, they carry the game, they put it on their shoulders and decide that even if the coach's tactics is not working with us, we would carry the team and then give the results.
Now, how are we seeing the blend of youth and experience play out in the Black Stars? Bill?
It's actually going on well. Of course, Jordan Ayew is literally the most experienced in the side, having played in multiple World Cups, been in the Black Stars for very long. But now it's quite important to also have the youth in the system. Mohamed Kudus is still young, he's 25. There's Abdul Fattah Isahaku. At some point, Enes Nyama comes in, Ibrahim Osman. That blend is very important because it sort of bridges a gap and it helps you prepare for the future, right? And Otuado did mention when he came back for the second time that he's going to really focus on getting more younger players in so he can prepare them for subsequent tournaments where at that point in time they will be ready to actually compete in those tournaments, like an AFCON, like the World Cup in the future. So now it's really good to see these many young players. I'm really impressed with Caleb Rinchi as well. Very young, 19 years old, but he's doing amazing. And he's not even a right back. That's the thing. He's a midfielder, but he's doing great things at right back. So it's really, really good that Otuado has found a way to bring in younger players to mesh with these older guys to try and get the results that he needs.
And it's important to mention that some of these younger players have been projects from under 17s, under 20.
Okay.
So these are players we've seen. These are players who played some in the Ghana Premier League. Fatawi Ishahaku having played here in the Ghana Premier League before moving to Porto. So like these are Ghana projects. And I love that. I like it when we have good Ghanaian players out there. But I also love it, Helen, when we have Ghanaian players who actually started here in Ghana, and we know that these are our projects. So we have players like Jerry Friye, who played for our youth team, Fatawi Shahaku, who played for our youth team. We have Christopher Bonsuba, who developed here in Ghana. So once you see that, you know that, okay, we are doing something right here. And then the players from Right to Dream here in Ghana. And so, yes, we are blending them quite well at this point, because when you see how Kudus, for instance, even Christopher Bonsuba, who will tell you that whenever I go to camp, I'll go to Thomas Partey or I'll go to Jordan Ayew and be like, what can you teach me? What can you tell me? What do I have to know? So that they would be able to learn, and when it's time for them to fully take over, it wouldn't be a time for us to say, let's give them time. They're already getting that time now. So when it's time for them to really take over, they'll be ripe and ready.
And that's exciting. We have to nurture the homegrown players as well. It can't always be about looking outside of the country. Now, Bill, before you got here, there was this talk about Sunday we go up against Comoros, and the agenda. Okay, Mawina, he says the scoreline will be we're thumping them 5-0.
5. I'll be very, very honest.
But you know when it becomes an emotional expedition. Whenever, for example, who was it Argentina that we faced off against? And Uruguay, my bad.
What's that?
And you see, the emotion is a bit too
revenge.
That game, I don't like to mention names, but it was a simple task.
Which one?
Uruguay.
The second one?
Score, start, penalty.
Yeah, the penalty.
Trajectory of the game completely different.
Changes,
Look, from when he missed, I don't want us to talk about that, but when he missed that penalty, the psychology of the team tanked. Everybody was like, "Oh no, this is going to happen to us again," and that was it. And it's a completely. I mean, the confidence level with which I've been speaking on since Monday, and I keep making reference because since Monday we've been having this conversation.
So on Monday, if we don't see you here,
no, I'm saying the confidence. I've been
no, but I'm saying that because the game is on Sunday.
Yes.
So on Monday, if you are not here, we know it's because you've put your heart in it.
No. There won't be anything like that. The expectation is that we will wallop them, a thumping, not because it is necessarily revenge or anything.
It's revenge.
I don't even approach it in the conversation of revenge. Look, there are classes or there are levels when it comes to football in Africa. No disrespect to Comoros, but they are nowhere close to the pedigree of the Blacks. Have you been to the streets of Ghana, from the nooks and crannies? The sheer talent we have in this country, they cannot lace our boots. And it is based on that basis alone, I say that they are receiving a thumping never before experience, and it is not a revenge. We are going to have fun with them because the World Cup is done. And we are just going to enjoy ourselves, enjoy the football, and it's going to be an absolute jamboree at the Accra Sports Stadium.
I don't know if
Sunday.
it was just the Ghanaian in me who was just waiting for Ghana to maybe not win the game against Central African Republic, then leave it all late around the 85th
for that drama.
For that 85th minute.
I don't like that one.
That's what I wanted.
I know the pedigree of the team. And by now the rest of these games we are using it for exhibition. We're using it to train the fresher limbs, persons who've come to the team for the first time, giving them minutes, testing if they have the gravitas to be able to don the Black Stars shirt. We've left it
and I
too
believe
late.
Probably on Sunday
we may
have like a whole change at least 6 players.
Let's change it. Let the guys. Let's see Payne still start. Let's see Sulemana start. Let's see a fresh midfield. Let's try and test, because we have made it to the World Cup. And then if the scores doesn't want to reach, then we'll bring the rest of the guys so that we can make it 5, 6, 7, 8. Charlie, it will be nice to see the Black Stars do an 8-0 against Comoros on Sunday.
I mean,
so
why?
It will be a festival. Then that on Sunday is just celebrate the whole stadium. We are just blasting music whilst the game is going because we are having fun. Then the goals are going. Then we are counting.
And we're screaming USA, USA,
and we're screaming USA. Fantastic.
Moe, I want you to take a sip of cold water. That's why I'm about to do this. I want us to also hear from our 3 Sports General Manager, Michael Otieje. He was our man on the ground yesterday, witnessing the game. Take a listen.
I think, first of all, the main point that you have to make is that it was a very, very efficient performance by the Black Stars in Meknes against the Central African Republic. The first half was maybe a bit slow. I think there were a few people who were beginning to think, is this a playback of that game against Chad when Ghana scores as early as possible and then completely seem to lose track of what to do and then everything goes bad. But in the second half, the players responded and they responded in the most brilliant fashion. Jordan Ayew came to the fore quite well, set up Thomas Partey for the first, then he set up Jiku, put one on a plate for him, as we say in football, to score a second. Jordan himself scored a third. Then there was the fourth. Basically the goals just effectively came as quickly as possible. A few observations from that. I think it was just how efficiently coached the team were in this game, and particularly the use of the set pieces. Before this game, there was a lot of interaction between Mohamed Kudus and the set piece trainer. And Kudus, every time he got the ball, because I watched it on pitch side, was very clear in his communication. One moment he told Mohamed Salisu in Hausa, go in there deep, the ball is coming to you. Before the goal was scored, he says to Jordan Ayew, Joe, the ball, they come to you. And Jordan then dragged the defenders forward and he puts the ball at the far post where Salisu headed the ball in. Salisu saying later that it was a move they had rehearsed throughout the period. So for me, that was the main thing. And it was also a sign of how efficient the Black Stars have used set pieces. I'm told since matches about the 7th goal they've scored from a set piece routine. I thought that also overall the team performance was really good and really solid across board. Mohamed Sibo had a very good day. I thought Thomas Partey was excellent. The centre backs both scored goals in Salisu and Jiku. That speaks of a strong team, but also the set piece strength of the team. Across board, the front line, the substitutions worked efficiently because Joseph Painsil sets up Kamaladin Sulemana, who scores his first goal for Ghana in 6 years, and it was brilliant to see how his mates Mohamed Kudus and Fatawu Isiaku were chuffed for him and happy that he found his mojo in that regard. So for me, those were the key things: the efficient use of set pieces, the efficient use of substitutes, just the overall ability to spring up in the second half and play well, because it had been a major game for the Black Stars. At this stage, it looks like World Cup qualification is closer than ever. The team will spend time having a bit of a relaxed day today, I suspect, and then I think tomorrow the real preparations for the game against Comoros will kick in. But this is a trip that the Black Stars thoroughly enjoyed. It's a performance they enjoyed. They came back to Accra with a crowd cheering and everything this morning, and I think it will live quite long in their memory. But they have to finish the job on Sunday, and I think that's what every member of the team will try to do, and that's the message that Otuado has been trying intensely to pass on to the rest of the side. I think, first of all, the main point that you have to make is that it was a very, very efficient performance by the Black Stars in Meknes against the Central African Republic. The first half was maybe a bit slow. I think there were a few people who were beginning to think, is this a playback of that game against Chad when Ghana scores as early as possible and then completely seem to lose track of what to do and then everything goes bad. But in the second half, the players responded and they responded in the most brilliant fashion. Jordan Ayew came to the fore quite well, set up Thomas Partey for the first, then he set up Jiku, put one on a plate for him, as we say in football, to score a second. Jordan himself scored a third. Then there was the fourth. Basically the goals just effectively came as quickly as possible. A few observations from that. I think it was just how efficiently coached the team were in this game, and particularly the use of the set pieces. Before this game, there was a lot of interaction between Mohamed Kudus and the set piece trainer, and Kudus.
And we're back in studio time check. It is some 4 minutes past the hour of 9. Let's expand this conversation some more. Joining us to have this discussion, I've got on the phone lines Dr. Ernest Cranting, CEO of the Back Group, also a sports analyst. Doc, hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Helen.
How are you doing?
I'm well, by God's grace. I hope you're doing well. We're all basking in what was a good game yesterday.
That's right.
Overall, the result was needed so much.
Absolutely.
And we got it to avoid any jitters on Sunday when we play our last home game.
That's right. So I take it that you're feeling very confident then. On Sunday, you can decide not to even watch the game because it's a foregone conclusion. It's a done deal, isn't it?
It is. Yesterday evening after the game, before I went for a walk, I drafted a message I'm hoping to send out maybe at the weekend. I don't know, it's Sunday prior to the game. And my message is very clear that we're only gathering for a big party on Sunday, God willing, at the Accra Sports Stadium. A game against Comoros should be more of a celebration than anything. If the Football Association and its stakeholders have got some ideas how to begin to whip up even more enthusiasm and interest for our participation at the World Cup, we could start on Sunday. Also, Sunday offers us a massive opportunity to maybe outline, even if it's skeletal, outline a few things that will keep the World Cup conversation going in a certain way. Unfortunately, we won't play in the Africa Cup of Nations in December in Morocco when 24 teams from Africa gather. I mean, it's a disappointment that I haven't gotten over.
That's right.
I do not think that we should forgive ourselves for failing to reach the AFCON in Morocco in December. The only way we can make up for it is to intensify the conversations about Ghana's World Cup participation in December. In June in North America next year. There are a few things for me. Since 2006, we failed to reach just one World Cup in Russia 2018. That in my opinion is remarkable. We did 3 straight between 2006 and 2014. Then we missed out on 2018, but we're back in 2022. It is fundamental for our game to reach these finals, to reach these major competitions, because then it does not only showcase what we're made of and what we can do, but it also tells the progress we're making, because all of the things we do at club level and all of the developmental projects, everything culminates in the showcasing of these things at major competitions, AFCON, World Cup, at every level, including the senior level. It is without a doubt that the senior level is massive, and we cannot afford to fail to qualify for major championships. Yeah, of course, so I am bullish. I am confident that the job is done. Massive goal difference for us that favors us. We are not going to lose at home to Comoros. We're not looking for it to a repeat of that shambolic performance against Niger in our last Africa Cup of Nations qualifying home game. We should finish it with aplomb, win big, have a big celebration, but find creative, strategic ways to keep the conversation going between now and June next year. It's only a little over 8 months, actually.
That's right. Now, speaking of the road to World Cup come next year, let's dial it back to yesterday's game. And what tactical decisions do you think that were made by Coach Otto Addo did the magic?
Okay, so it's also appropriate to credit what the Football Association has done over the period of these World Cup qualifiers. Yeah, it was within the same period that we failed massively to reach the AFCON, but we've got to give credit where it is due. The FA has done well, led by the President, General Secretary, and all of the people all the people involved, including the management committee, chairman, Dr. Randy Abden, and the rest of his team. Also, the government led by the sports ministry and everything they have done. The coach Otoado and the players led by Jordan Ayew, who is captain of the side up until this time. You ask about tactical decisions, and I say we didn't exactly play differently from what we've been used to over the period. Yes, the opponent, in my opinion, was poor, just like Chad. But one big difference was that we didn't let our guards down when we scored the first goal. It took a while for the first goal to come. A big lead for us is how we scored goals from set pieces throughout these World Cup qualifiers. 9 games, we scored from 7 or so set pieces. That is remarkable. You can't take that away from the team. It means we're doing something in that regard. It's also technical. We've got to applaud the team for it and the technical team for the work they've done. I'm still looking at us. Yes, we scored 5. I'm still looking at us being absolutely dominant on the pitch, on the field of play, so that when we put the ball down, we're stringing passes together and we're moving players from one point to the other, controlling the game, controlling the ball, etc. That I did not see the way I expected. But we expected the win. We wanted the win to avoid any jitters on Sunday, and that's exactly what we delivered. So if you ask me if anything remarkable is changed about technical direction, I'll say, of course, the coach selected the players and may have spoken to the players in the manner that got them to get out and get the results the way they did yesterday. But technically, our style of play, delivery, etc., could improve so much more if we can beat the very big boys, not just on the continent, but the world over. We're going to play in the World Cup, mind you, and we've got to be hitting the highest heights if we get out of our group and make it very far in the competition.
Now, we were having a bit of in-studio banter about the midfield partnership between Kwesi Sibo and Thomas Partey in controlling the tempo and also supporting each other. I want you to weigh in on that. It was quite a heated and interesting banter in the studio.
Yeah, Thomas is a phenomenon, isn't he? Thomas has easily been one of our best players. Together with Jordan Ayew have been our most outstanding players throughout the qualifiers. Thomas, yesterday I was trying to look at the stats. Thomas hardly loses a game when he plays with the Black Stars team. Let's not forget, over 2 legs against Nigeria prior to Qatar 2022 was our most important player. He did the most important thing, scored the most important goal that got us to the World Cup. He was captain of the side at the time because we didn't have Andre Ayew. Now, if Thomas is in midfield for you, how easy he does the thing, how technically adept, skilled, experienced he is magnificent. If we have him in this team, we know anytime Thomas lines up in the Black Stars team, I'm like, okay, so the job is like 50% done, and then he only needs the support. So Thomas is a mainstay. He's deputy captain also of the team. He's a massive leader. Yesterday, after the second or third goal, I saw him still try to direct his teammates, try to say things to them, from Jiku to Semenyo to some of the players. I saw Thomas leading on the pitch. I don't know whether he's thinking of life after football already in the dugouts, but right. Thomas is a magnificent player. He gives us assurances that we easily do not have in his absence. So that is one. Kwesi Sibo has come in early. The two of them speak Spanish. They've been in Spain for a while, so I get that there's a connection. Let's not forget, Real Oviedo is played Villarreal this season already. They've met, they've spoken, and I assume they've exchanged contact and they are in touch as regularly as possible. Sibo is coming, he's doing a good job. A tackler, he wins the balls, and then what he has to add to it is starting the attack, starting the play. But he's giving Thomas so much covering that Thomas is free to move forward and create. You saw from yesterday's game, Thomas's goal, for instance, was it the second or the third goal? You saw how he moved forward and played that 1-2 with Jordan, and then took the ball so well and scored. So the midfield partnership has been good. I mean, the midfield in general excites us so much. Don't forget that we still have Ibrahim Sulemana, who is not fit, got injured, so couldn't be called up for this game.
That's
Young
right.
at Bologna is done great already in Cagliari before moving to was in Atalanta, now on loan at Bologna. So he will come in as well at some point. We have Elisha Usu in the team. There are other midfielders who will give us cover. So when it comes to the midfield area, I believe we're so stuck, we're so blessed, and all we have to do is to take care of our boys, take care of all of them.
Right.
And Thomas will continue to be that man who directs the orchestra in midfield, and we can only get better.
Right. And my final question, Doc, as we wrap up on this conversation is, how significant do you see the blend of youth and experience in this Black Stars team as we look forward to our future games?
It's great. I don't know if you realized what Mohamed Kudus was doing on the pitch yesterday, relating with Abdul Fattah Ishaku
right.
and Kamaldeen Sulemana when he came on. After the game, the Football Association posted a video of the three of them having a conversation, congratulating and encouraging Kamaldeen Sulemana for the goal. He scored his first goal in 6 years for the Black Stars. In fact, his first international goal. That is the kind of future we have for this team. Kudus Mohammed is already a leader. Fattah Ishaku, the Fattah Ishaku I know, is one who is daring, who likes to take on responsibilities and will grow even better into this team. I mentioned Sulemana Ibrahim earlier, who also has these leadership tendencies and will come in, has quality, will come in and augment the side. There are many others. Gideon Mensah has been a left back for some time. He's only 26. It's just incredible, isn't it?
That's right.
Go to right back and Caleb Irinchi. It's already given, what's the name? The player I ran, I'm trying to recollect his name. Give him a run for the right back position. We have a good blend. Our goalkeeper is 26 years old. He's hard-to-work goalkeeper. Benjamin Asari is a fan favorite. I've seen how many guys are trying to call him Mr. Clean Sheets. Is nice.
That's right.
And then
That's
you
right.
have in the middle of the park all of the players who are contributing their bit. Then a nice blend up front. Jordan Ayew, 33, Semenyo there, and all the other players who are contributing their bit. So the blend is great. We have a team for the future. I'm looking at us winning things, beating the big sides, the most important sides, to win things, because that's the only way you win things. And my opinion is, if we continue on this trajectory, make the right technical decisions, keep these players motivated, they are fit, they are strong, we will get back to our very best, not just qualifying to major competitions, but going very far and possibly winning something and ending Ghana's 40-something year wait for an international title, long before some of us were born.
Doc, we look forward to the party come Sunday. I know you'll be front and center as far as all of the action is concerned. Thank you so much for sharing your nuggets with us this morning.